So this is one of those rare occurrences where we're going to really depend quite heavily on the answer options. Notice in our Triple T document, I say don't look at the answer options right away, they'll only confuse you. However, it can be useful to look at the answer format. And what we're going to do here is observe that since we're trying to figure out what's equivalent to this equation, we want to see what's different about all the answer options compared with this original. Now, the biggest difference is all of these have an exponent of just t instead of 3t. So we have to figure out how are we going to rewrite that 1.1 to the 3t so that it's instead to the t power. Now, when talking about properties of exponents, there's really two things that would come to my mind as far as ways I could rewrite it. Would I either rewrite it like this so that one of them is to the t power, or would I have to rewrite it more like this? And the way we'll figure out which of those two is actually the correct approach is by taking a quick glance at page 34, which is side 3 of our math reference document. And notice we have these top two properties. Notice the first one, when you have the same base, you add the exponents, versus when you have one base with the exponent tacked on, it's called a power of a power, you multiply the exponent. Well, here we want it to just be 3t. In this scenario, it'd be 1.1 to the 3 plus t or t plus 3. But that's not equivalent to what we had in the original. So we really want this specific setup. Well, if you're cubing all this, which would make it still to the 3t, instead I could just cube the 1.1 so that it keeps the t exponent intact. So I'm doing 1.1 cubed, 1.1, oh, too many points, let's delete that one. And I'm going to the third power. And that gives me a value of 1.331, which matches with option A. Another option is whenever you're given a function and you're trying to compare it to other ones, you could just go into Desmos, clear whatever you might have done previously, and then just type these in. And I don't know if it's the fastest approach. It honestly kind of depends on whether or not I'm going to get the correct answer as one of the first options. I'm going to choose x instead of t, and I'm not even putting f of t equals, because you don't have to put y equals, of course, in Desmos. So I type this, and I'm going to zoom out so I can actually see this function. Now I'm going to figure out which of these options, a through d, is going to match with it. So let me go ahead and do this, where we'll eliminate options as we go. So if I type in the first one, so notice 100, 1.331 to the, which is shift 6, x, of course, if I go like this, I'll remove it, and you can see it already matches perfectly, which we already established. But just to give you an example of an incorrect answer option, let's type in the second one, and then you could see, oh, that green function definitely is not the same as the original red one, so we would remove this one. And you could proceed accordingly. But again, we get the correct answer is A.